Okay, so here's my little update on the board. So obviously these are the people that we've lost so far. So I think a few of them are from the banishments at the round tables. Some of them are from murders. And obviously you had Paloma Faith right at the beginning, rest in peace. So here are the people you got left. So at the bottom I've got, David. Well, you've obviously got David and Mark, one of which is going to go in the next episode. But yeah, I think David and Mark are actually both very good. They're both very... David's more quiet. Mark's more very vocal, to either defend himself or attack somebody else. But yeah, David's very... kind of keeps himself to himself. He has his opinions, he has his thoughts, and, he has his ideologies, but he doesn't want to bring that up too quick. But obviously the fact that he's been quiet and now is starting to speak up, that's kind of why people are a little bit weird with him. Kate, very quiet, she's not really given any names, so I'm hoping she steps forward a little bit with some actual names, otherwise she'll probably end up going soon. Celia, again, very cute, she's this icon. Again, I don't know who she is personally, but, she's one of the older contestants in the game, so you obviously want to protect her, but you also want her to be able to take out a traitor, and it's like she's done it herself. Lucy, again, she's kind of hovering at the moment, she's kind of putting ideas here and there, but again, I feel like she's just more of a floater. So you got both the Joes. So Joe W obviously has his whole theory on David, but doesn't really seem to work. Joe M kind of again has that whole theory with David. So I think both the Joes, they're not floating, but I think Joe M is starting to speak up a little bit more and be like, no, this is like, I'm going to put my voice forward now, which is exactly what Ruth said before she went out. We have to start voicing our opinions. We can't just let people keep taking out the faithful. Nick is a question mark for me. He's not quiet, he's not loud, he's just kind of there. Like, he's more reactive. Someone says something that he will just then react to. So, yeah, I guess in challenges he's quite good with the whole puzzles and things like that. But in terms of, working out the traitors, again, similar to Kate, similar to Lucy, similar to the Joe W, similar to Celia. He's not really putting much there. He's just kind of an extra set of hands to help out. You got Jonathan Ross. Again, he's obviously a traitor, but, he's still doing okay. I think he's going to end up going in the next couple of episodes. Like, if he doesn't go in the next episode, which obviously he won't because it's David or Mark, he'll probably get banished at the next one. Even if he does get a shield, someone's going to be like, I'm going for Jonathan. They're going to take him out. And then you got Kat, Alan, and Stephen. So Kat and Alan, obviously traitors. I think the two of them are working quite well together. I think at this point they're not too bothered whether Jonathan stays or goes. And then for Stephen Fry, he is very smart. He is probably the smartest one out of the group, the one that's probably the known most out of the group. But I think that's why some of them are a little bit confused as to whether he's actually a faithful or whether he's actually a traitor. So he has to be careful. He could get taken out, he could get banished, he could get murdered. It could be any of those if they see him as a threat, or if they see that, people starting to like him, they might go, we're going to take him out quick before they like him too much. So that's kind of my run through on the rest of them. I think the strong runners, I would say Alan Carr, just because he's just so funny and so stupid and so clumsy, but that's what makes him not likely to be a traitor. I think Joe W is good. I do like the way he thinks about things. He just needs to be more vocal about it. I love Joe M. I think he's great as well. Mark, as long as he doesn't get, banished in the round with David, he could go on to win it. I could look really silly and he could be, gone by the end of episode 4. And that's kind of it. I feel like the rest are kind of just hovering at the moment. There's potential from Nick and potential from Kat. Again, we don't know if there's going to be a recruitment later on, so we don't know if they might recruit someone potentially like Mark, who, he was adamant he was a faithful, and then if he was to get taken out of the game as a traitor, it's like, hang on, he's lied to us the whole way through. No, he hasn't. You just didn't realise he got recruited. So again, it would then trust the people who managed to get Mark out. So any sort of possibilities can happen. So it doesn't really matter who stays or goes out of David or Mark. The game will still be played. Either David will be smart and take that smartness forward, or Mark potentially could get recruited. It's either traitor or goodbye. He'll want to be a traitor. He'll get taken out and they'll go, yes, we got rid of a traitor. He lied to us. And then whoever got Mark out will then be seen as a hero, but actually they could be a traitor as well. So we don't know what's going to happen. So that's my little overall in terms of the rest of the people that are left. But what do you think? Who are your favourites? Who are your least favourites? You got Lucy, you got Jonathan, you got Kate, you got David, you got Celia, Mark, Joe M, Joe W, Nick, Kat, Alan, and Stephen. So let me know in the below. And if you were to bring one of the other 7 back, who would you bring back and why?